curriculum of the students, at least in the 9th and 10th class. Now that proposal,
or possibly in the colleges. I think the 9th and 10th may be a little too early.
maybe 9th and 10th, or maybe 11th and 12th, wherever. But I think that is the right way to go. But I'm a member of the National Anti-Doping Agency Management Committee also, and I talked to the President Minister, and he is quite receptive to this idea, Minister of Sports, that yes, we should do something at that level. But I think till then, that time, but most of the athletes who get into this problem and are getting caught,
Right.
they are very well aware of.
But there is this by I think World Anti-Doping Agency. I believe every year in January they post these banned substances on their website, and but do they expect all the athletes to log on to their website and every year and read and understand to see the prohibited substance are mentioned by generic names and not by the trade name over there?
Agreed. I fully agree with you. For that, the most important thing is that the federations must have good, adequate medical support system with them, which is lacking. The coaches, I mean, if you ask me, you're very right, if you ask me to go through the generic names, some of them may seem very Latin to me also. But at the same time, we must be aware of the fact that there are certain groups of drugs which are banned. It's not that each individual is to be known, but there are certain groups of drugs which are banned, and those groups are the ones which they know and are supposed to know. That's one. And the second thing is, in India, the trouble is that we do not have a prescription system of medicine. You can walk into any drugstore and buy
that's
any
a big
drug,
problem.
and buy any drug. You see,
Yeah, they are actually now saying that perhaps the NIS is to blame, because a lot of chemists around the NIS are selling a lot of these banned drugs.
No, you can't blame NIS for it, but yes, there are shops around, yes.
But Kamalji, tell me
Nobody
now, you've been an athlete yourself, you've been a coach also in senior positions. If the awareness is an issue, don't you think the coaches are to blame to a large extent?
No, in fact, there's a regular system in the NIS where there are regular lectures done by WADA, by people coming from Delhi. Then the scientists are giving lectures, coaches are giving lectures to the athletes. They're very well aware of it.
So there's an effort which is on.
Oh yes.
But now you've been associated with a lot of cricketers. Now cricket, of course, is a team game, but there the individual performance matters quite a bit. So how rampant is the problem of doping amongst the cricketers?
I'm not so sure I can give you some kind of a thing. But you see, the problem with cricket is it's a different kind of endurance game. Now, if you want to go into the technicalities of it all, doping in one game may not be considered doping in another game. And they're all different kinds. But if you look at the overall perspective, I'm not so sure a cricketer playing a one-day match needs so much of a doping issue. That's why it's low profile. Okay. But in other games, and I like to take a little, sort of bring up the debate about taking the teaching down to the younger level, because most of the steroids have the most harmful drugs in the growing age. And that is the time when people have these aspirations that I want to go to represent India, and that's the time that they ask their coaches, what should I take? And I will not put it past many of them, because they get the fame reflected onto themselves about saying take this. For example, the East German and the Ukrainian coaches, half of them were blamed for feeding these people. I have no proof for that, but it's there everywhere, that behind the Iron Curtain, suddenly the German medals doubled every Olympics. So that has perhaps percolated down to our country.
You say something, Dr.
Not only that, one of the reasons, sorry, I cut you in, one of the areas where doping came into India was when we started importing coaches. When we started importing coaches from the Eastern Bloc.
That's an interesting angle.
Yeah. From the Eastern Bloc. I mean, that's a fact. And I would say that Indian coaches, by and large, had been very clean, and
or possibly ignorant.
What
I would like to further enforce what Doctor is telling. I never heard of any coach with whom I have been associated. I have been a coach of the international levels, mentioning anything, any doping and any substance which could boost up your energy and thing like. I would also like to add further thing here. Kamalji said that there has been a provision. They have been telling the people at the grassroots level athletes who are going to take part in national, international. But there is a statement. Lot many sports people, those who have been tested positive, said we do not know. And in fact, they were trying to tell that I have been told by a particular coach to take this medicine. I was suffering with one of the girls swimmer. She says I was losing my hair, so this is substance I've been told to take.
Discussing the menace of doping, but before we move forward with the discussion, let us hear what the famous Indian athlete Milkha Singh has to say on doping.
कि साडे ज़माने दे विच डोपिंग दा पता ही नहीं सी, सानू पता ही नहीं सी कि ड्रग्स लैणियां, मगर अजकल जिहड़ी चीज़ चली है मैं समझदा कि बहुत ही माड़ी गल है। ये तुसी देखिया है कि मैं कल परसों भी न्यूज़ पढ़ रहा सी, उहदे विच भी साडे बच्चे रैसलर फड़े गए, एथलीट फड़े गए, जिहदे नाल कि साडी कंट्री दी काफ़ी बदनामी हुई। क्योंकि मिल्खा सिंह ने मेहनत की 10-11 साल तां जाके दुनिया का रिकॉर्ड तोड़िया, तां जाके ओलंपिक का रिकॉर्ड तोड़िया, मगर अजकल के जोड़े बच्चे हैगे वो ये चाहते हैं कि ड्रग्स लैके असी महीने दे विच या 6 महीनों दे विच असी रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दईए। क्योंकि अजकल सिस्टम इस तरह का चलिया है कि बच्चे अगर ड्रग्स लैके चंगी परफॉर्मेंस दे जाते हैं तो उन्होंने पैसा मिल जाता है, उन्होंने नौकरी मिल जाती है, पर इस गल नूं वो नहीं सोचते कि इहदे नाल साडे देश की बदनामी है, इहदे नाल साडे माँ प्यो की बदनामी। वैसे ये सही गल है कि अजकल चैकिंग जिहड़ी शुरू हो गई है, चाहे ओलंपिक गेम्स ने, चाहे कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स ने, चाहे एशियन गेम्स ने, उदों ड्रग टेस्ट किसी टाइम भी वो लै सकते हैं। कमेटी बनी हुई है और किसी टाइम भी वो ड्रग टेस्ट लैके तो बच्चों फड़े जा सकते हैं। वो मैं तुहानूं मोटी गल दस दी है कि मैं कोचिज नूं कहांगा, मैं जिहड़े डॉक्टर्स टीम नाल लगे ने उन्होंने कहांगा कि बच्चों दे चैक रखो और ना ही तुसीं उन्होंने ये चीज़ सुजैसट करो कि वो ड्रग्स लैन ते ताकि वो ड्रग्स लैके ते परफॉर्मेंस अपनी दें।
Dr. Dhillon, what Milkha Singh just said, that it's a 1960, it's a post-1960 phenomenon. But as a doctor, tell us how the performance-enhancing drugs work in the body.
Ma'am, there are basically 3 types of drugs. One are the so-called steroids or their derivatives, which boost up muscle mass taken over time, and we are not very sure about the so-called innocuous creatine type of substances the average bodybuilder also eats. I'm not so sure about those also, what can be there. That is one type of drugs. The second type of drugs are the stimulants, which stimulate you for a short period, like the amphetamines, etc., which come up, and its variations which have come up, which make you perform at a higher level and then burn you out and have bad effects. And the third type of drugs, which is the latest kind of drug, is the so-called blood doping or the blood related doping. That means they increase your own blood and hemoglobin so that your oxygen carrying capacity increases.
You just mentioned the stimulants. Are they all easily detected? For example, I have 2 written over here with me: human growth hormone and homologous blood transfusions.
Homologous blood, I mean, for that I'd like Dr. Manmohan Singh to tell you, but these are issues are these. Many of these things, that's why I'm saying that it's a grey zone, how much is good for you.
Right.
Some of the hormones are the ones which your body itself produces. They are given in excess to make you stronger, bigger, faster, or less tired, that kind of stuff. But they have their own side effects. For example, if you give male hormones to ladies, they are going to have problems.
Right.
Or you give these anabolic steroids to men or young boys, they are going to have liver problems. Blood doping is done, they take out your own blood a month before you are to play, and by that time your body replaces the blood, and few days before the game they give you your own blood back. So you have that extra pint of blood which makes up your problem or your own thing. I don't know whether it's correct, how bad medically or not, but I don't know
And
whether it can be picked up.
But fortunately, Mandeep, I don't think a lot of this is happening at this point in time
No,
in India.
we don't have the technology.
But a couple of about 2-3 years back, a few athletes belonging to one of the countries, neighboring countries, were caught. The same technique they adopted. What doctor is telling, as a layman I could tell, it enhances the oxygen intake your body, and certainly you start reacting fast.
That's when the 8 Pakistan athletes were.
That's what I was.
called.
And people say that it's a slightly difficult to get detected unless they got the latest equipment to test them.
Absolutely. Dr. Manmohan Singh, I remember 30-40 years ago when some of us were taking part in sports, a lot of athletes in the off season used to take something called the Dynabol. You know, I think it would help you to digest food faster and get energy. Now this drug methyl hexamine, which is being taken, how exactly does this work? This is the most popular common drug in India now.
Dynabol was an anabolic steroid,
Right.
which helps you build, as Dr. Mandeep said, helps you build muscles, makes you fatter and stronger for that particular period of time and where you're using it, and a little bit after.
Possibly for the off season.
But then you have a lot of side effects, liver problems, heart problems, eye problems coming on to this. Methyloxamine, which you are talking of, which is the latest culprit in news, it's a stimulant. Now, a stimulant is used basically in events where you need to have a surge, like swimming, like sprinting, and maybe also in wrestling, because you need to have a great bit of energy to be put in over a short period of time. So there's where stimulants come in. The anabolic steroids are useful, perceived useful by the athletes because they help you build muscle mass, and therefore in power sports like wrestling, like weightlifting,